Are you wondering what home improvements you can do that will add value to your home? I am going to give you a strategy to try and figure this out because I think it's a little bit of a chicken and an egg question, and I get asked it a lot. Hi, I'm Michele Replogle, Coldwell Realty. Been doing this a little while, and I've been through a lot of homes. And most of my counseling at the table, where we're signing the listing agreement and really talking about moving forward on selling the property, a lot of stuff that's happened beforehand is a little bit too late. And that would even be deciding not to replace that brown tile or that avocado green refrigerator. It's just too late. Here we are. What do we do? But I want to give you a strategy to think about this as you may have just bought a home, looking to buy a home, or looking to sell. How can you evaluate where you need to change things to get the max dollar that you can for the money and the energy you are willing to put in? But first, you need to establish, when are you going to sell? I've had people have me come to their home more than a few times over the years and say, we're going to sell in 5 years. What should we do? And then they show me their kitchen and it's dated and they're like, well, we want to change the kitchen and we want to do all this stuff. Change it. Do it. Enjoy it now. It will never hurt you. I cannot tell you with any of the improvements or the things I talk about today that you are going to get your money back 100%. But I'm going to tell you that everything that you do that upgrades old stuff will pay off. So we'll just leave that as a baseline. So how long are you going to be there? Okay. If your bathroom, you just cannot stand it and it's not very functional, it just doesn't seem like it was built with any integrity, fix it. Finish it out, do it, enjoy it. It definitely will pay off. Now, as the years go by, so if you did a remodel today and it was gorgeous and top of the line and in style and contemporary and all that sort of stuff, you could imagine in the next year, you could probably get 80 to 100%. I would imagine that just like appreciations depreciate items in a house for how long that they've been there, it would be the same. So a new bathroom today in 5 years doesn't mean 50% more. It could still be close to the 80%, but you can kind of see what I mean as it ages and those fixtures and those style ideas age. You may not get that full percentage, but you've enjoyed it. You've had a good time, right? You have just had a new bathroom. I would say the same with kitchen. Now, most people don't like to put new kitchens in for buyers because they feel like what they want to do in a kitchen, because it's so personal, they don't know if that would convey to the buyer. Well, that's kind of where that Home Depot, IKEA idea comes in, where it's a fairly generic upgrade, new cabinets, new appliances, kind of all clean and finished out. That's always a safe bet. But if you're going to make it really personal and do red tile and put stuff in a kitchen that you're not sure people are going to use, like a trash compactor or maybe even a wine fridge, something that might be very specific to that user, then, you really have to think about that. But you could go very generic and then for sure. But all of it really does pay off. People like new kitchens. They like new bathrooms. Floors are also a really big one. And I would tell you to go ahead and do floors. And I did read an article that said refinishing wood floors can get you up to 150% back. So what are they saying when they say that? Let's go over that percentage of these millions of return of investment sites online that will tell you what you're going to get. Really 100%, if you think about it, if your kitchen costs you $20,000 to do, just kind of a basic one, you could imagine if your home, if you thought you could get $1,025,000 for it, you could probably price it at $1,045,000 and just put that right over the top. And I've had plenty of sellers do work on their home and then do something just recently that they knew how much that costs. And I'm like, yeah, let's just throw it on there, see what happens. And 9 times out of 10, they get that. So that investment in the property, usually always pays back, but we are entering a bit of a different market. Interest rates are extremely high for consumers, not for some older homeowners, but prices are higher too. So buyers actually want more. They're willing to pay more, and they know things cost more, but they want more done. So they're kind of digging in on more of the, I don't want the green avocado fridge, even if I could replace it for a couple $1,000s at Best Buy. I want it already done. So you'll see stuff like that now coming through, where buyers are just like, I could just go find something that's a little bit better fixed up. But in Santa Cruz, it's tough. We have a lot of dilapidated properties. We have a lot of second homeowners and rentals, and those properties just don't have a lot of work done to them, or it's dated, or they're kept clean and tidy, but it's again 20-year-old stuff. But floors, when I read that 147% return, I kind of got it, because wood floors are difficult to refinish when you're living there. So you really only have this window of when that home is vacant to do it. So that makes sense that a buyer might give more credence to something that is difficult to do. And that leads into my next idea of what you should establish before you do home improvements, besides what you would do for yourself or to enjoy, or putting a roof because it's leaking. The other thing is finding out what's going on in the market and where are the pain points are. So for the last couple years, wood has been really expensive. So new decks, well, you don't live on the deck. I mean, you might enjoy the deck, but a new deck replacing an old deck can add some value to buyers when they're looking at how much that would cost, and they don't want to spend that much money, but they don't want to buy a house with an old deck knowing that they're going to have to put that deck in. But if it's already done, that could really help you. Where in years past, it'd be like, yeah, deck, I'll do that later. I'll redo the yard and I'll redo the deck. But I would imagine with the cost of wood, that is something a little bit more forefront in the eyes of the buyer today. Painting is always really good to do all the way around, all the time. A fresh coat of paint never hurts, especially on exteriors. It protects it. Interior, it just gives it a kind of a nice new car smell, as it were. The one that surprised me, though, I mean, I should have thought about the floors a little bit more. I mean, that makes sense, right? Because it's harder to do. You've just bought the house and you may not want to spend any time doing the floors. You might just want to move in. So if it's already done for you, that could be a real big plus. But landscaping, it came up on more than a few lists. And I thought about it, and I thought, busy buyers don't have time to do landscaping, and they may not want to figure out who they can get to design it, to fix it, to, clean it up. So that made sense to me. And clean, fresh landscaping, or even just a really, really nice, tight cleanup, can always really help. But I would, at the end of the day, say, call some trusted advisors, real estate agents, maybe if you have an appraiser friend or a designer friend, and go over with them of what they're seeing in the market that buyers like and want, because sometimes it changes, and it could be how much it costs to get that done, or the shortage of vendors that get that work done. There's a lot that goes into this. But just to recap, my first point is, do it if it's going to be something that you enjoy. Your kitchen, your bathroom, or maybe move out and do new floors all over, or recarpet. Painting is always good to do. Windows are something that buyers almost expect. I don't know how much value that adds. Solar doesn't really add a lot of value, really, but buyers like it. It's kind of like, it's kind of like a bonus. It's probably like buying a car in the color that you like. You get the choice, but maybe you wouldn't, necessarily go that route. So that's kind of a bonus. But decks, especially right now, and then landscaping was something, of course, that surprised me. And then here's something else that buyers like that you might want to consider, is putting in an electric car charger if you're doing any electrical work. Any electrical upgrades, you're maybe rewiring your garage, have your panel upgraded to facilitate that charge, that load, and then maybe see about putting in a universal car charger. That's also something now that I would see that really adds values. And I do have a lot of buyers ask, where can I charge my car? Like, will this panel support it? How is the wiring in this house? Will it support maybe some of the other electronics that I want to put in it? So that's something else to think about and something you can enjoy. I am going to post in the notes here of YouTube and where else this video goes, a link to my Pinterest page so you can see some of the work I've done on my house. Now, I've done some of the harder, definitely not very sexy stuff, but under the hood stuff. I did a foundation. And that's something that nobody wants to do. And if you have foundation issues, you definitely want to check on that, because that's something buyers definitely do not like. But that's not in the kind of fun home improvement list, so I didn't talk a whole lot about that. But bottom line, between what you want to do to enjoy yourself, also understand what's going on in the market, and maybe even just go to a few open houses and take a look at some houses and see some of the things that they've done. Now, buyers always love brand new. The thing is, brand new houses or all redone houses, often they are costlier, and they have a few offers, and sometimes the competition is a little stiff. So maybe getting a house that needs some work will be more in their arena. And then that's where you need to understand, what could you do for them to take away some of the pain points so they're interested in your house, but also leave some stuff that maybe you just don't want to deal with, that's not so hard for them to think about doing on their own. I hope this helped you. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check my socials. I post a lot of stuff there, all Santa Cruz, and hopefully good information. And of course, please reach out to me. Love to hear from you. Thanks. Bye.